Banks were actually people that belonged to the FSB, which is the former KGB. These are they're CIA, right? Russia's CIA. So these were people that were connected, and they received $500,000 in Bill Clinton specifically for a speech, $200,000 from a speech.
By the way, that speech came from a Russian government. The $500,000, which was twice his normal speaking fee, and it came from a Russian government-aligned investment bank, and it came at a time that seemed suspicious, and especially in terms of the Uranium One deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at the hearing, Grassley held a hearing this year that focused in on this bank, and this is a statement from one of the officials, and as noted by Grassley in the letter that he sent to all of these people who have put these lawsuits against President Trump. He said, well, if you just look at this bank alone, Renaissance is a Russian investment bank whose senior officers include former FSB Russian intelligence personnel. As such, sources have described the bank as an extension of the Russian government, as most all of the banks in Russia are controlled in some manner by the Kremlin. Yet, mum's the word, nobody made a big deal about the fact that, former President Bill Clinton received $500,000 for a speaking engagement from these folks, and it was filed in a joint income tax return while she was Secretary of State. That should raise concern.
Well, look at Qatar. I mean, they donated $1 million to the Clinton Foundation on Bill Clinton's birthday while Clinton was Secretary of State. Hillary, the nation, was the recipient of approximately, $4.3 billion. And, here's the thing that really bothered me is, the Saudis gave $10 million, and that was a 97% increase, et cetera, of money that they had given in the past when she becomes Secretary of State. And, and she's the champion of women's rights and gays' rights and religious freedom, but look at how the Saudis persecute women and persecute and kill gays and lesbians and persecute Christians and Jews. So it's great hypocrisy, but it's probably a lot deeper.
True. And remember, there was a lot of concern, too. You mean Saudi Arabia, the majority of the 9/11, if we go back all the way to September 11th, 2001, they were from Saudi Arabia. Osama bin Laden was from Saudi Arabia. We know that there were a lot of issues in the kingdom with Wahhabism, which was the extreme form of Islamic belief. And so there were a lot of concerns there, and nobody really addressed those issues. We know we've been partnering with our Saudi partners and allies as well, trying to find a way to mitigate this, but we haven't been able to. If you just go back to Qatar really quickly, think about this. During that time, she got the $1 million for the Clinton Foundation on Clinton's birthday. They got eventually $4.3 billion worth of sales. They were the recipient of that. That was a 1,482% increase.
Wow.
Since prior to Clinton being Secretary of State. That's huge. So if you just look at everything and you line it up, Sean, there's a lot of questions there, and people need answers. Like you said, unfortunately, there's not a lot of people seeking out these answers right now, but we know Senator Grassley is one of them, and he is expecting to receive some responses to his letters from those that he sent them to.
All right. Well,
hey, this is Amazon Jude coming to you from Casper. I just got to thinking about the Comey deal today that was so-called the bombshell, but he asked for that $50,000 from the Senate committee. It had to be late 2016, or maybe June or July. But he had asked for that money, that $50,000, for that Mr. Steele's dossier, and some of the senators were like, why do we want to give this guy $50,000? And that was it's not a bombshell. It was already out there. Media is just now putting it out there because he got busted again lying, and we know the dossier is full of shit. We know the guy that was specializing in Russia deal he said the Russians hadn't hacked anything. People still believe that it was an inside job based on the data that was downloaded. It couldn't have been downloaded over the internet. I know I can't send a PDF with more than 7 pages without it messing up. So I highly doubt that it was anything but somebody took their little sticky drive, shoved it into one of the computers, and downloaded all of Podesta's emails. Secondly, Hillary's emails, FBI is trying to cover for her, saying that we're not interested in those emails. Well, I don't know who they talk to, but I can think of 65 million Americans that want to know everything that was in those emails. And we'd like to know what's in Huma Abedin's emails, and Wiener's, and John Podesta's. And WikiLeaks is going to talk to the president here pretty soon, and this is going to blow the Democratic Party out of the water, and that's what they're afraid of.
Official business.
I believe it's important to do that. I think that
This. Why do you think it's important to use official email to conduct official business?
I believe it's important to do that. I think that certainly every department has chosen to craft the way in which they carry out their business, and it provides for a way of doing business in a secure system.
So you use official email to conduct official business?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. Podesta. Mueller has pretty much run out of places to look other than on the Democrat side. All of his investigations into the Trump side isn't panning out like they quite thought. He seems to think he has Paul Manafort on the hook, but that's like from 2012 to 2014, and it still has nothing to do with the Trump campaign. It's all running right back to Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and the Bushes. You knew Bush and Clintons were cousins, right? And you knew that they were Masons. And I'm sure you also know that they're basically a cartel. It's like a mafia family that's had control of our government for some 20 years. No wonder we're in fucking debt up to our assholes, huh? And all of our jobs are gone, and everybody's on welfare, and everybody's at each other's throats, man. It's, you know, the only the strong survive. Well, hey, embrace what's coming up. Don't fight it. Embrace the fact that you might have a chance again at having a job. Feed your family. Stay married. Put some money away for your kids. Buy that bike or car you wanted. You know, what is wrong with you liberals? Are you so afraid that people might get equal again in this country and actually enjoy their lives and not be out burning down buildings or pulling down statues? Or, you know, you guys must love chaos. I suggest you all go find yourself a nice psychiatrist and talk to him.